Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines is helping 15-year-old Rosemary Lacroix, a cataract patient, see the world again. In Taiwan, many hospitals now offer a Chinese-Western joint medical service for patients who wish to seek treatment in both medical fields. And we meet Peng Chunling in Pingdong to learn the beauty of embroidery and needlework from the indigenous Lukai tribe. 15-year-old Rosemary Lacroix in the Philippines became a cataract patient when she was just 9 months old. Her parents, being farmers, could not afford the expensive surgery. This year in June, with help from the Manila Tzu Chi Free Clinic Center, Rosemary was able to undergo surgery and see the world again.
15 is a very youthful age, a time to enjoy one's childhood. But Rosemary, being blind in her right eye, hides at home crying, since she feels inferior to other children because of her illness.
If we had money, I would let my daughter undergo the surgery, but with my husband being a farmer, we can't afford it, so we have to rely on herbal treatments.
Since the herbal treatment didn't have any effect, her loving aunt has tried to find another solution to help her niece.
I understand how Rosemary feels, and it is sad the way she lives, and I don't want to see her unhappy. I want to grab every chance I have to help her lead a normal teenager life.
Thanks to the help from the Manila Welfare Organization, Rosemary was referred to the Tzu Chi Free Clinic Center and finally sees a ray of hope.
I am very thankful for Tzu Chi's help. If not for Tzu Chi, my daughter would not be able to see again. I believe that now my daughter will be able to start a new life.
Her surgery was very successful, but her eye will need some time until it is able to see again, because it was blind for such a long time.
After the surgery, the shy Rosemary gives the Tzu Chi volunteers a thumbs up, while her eyes are sparkling and eager to see the beautiful world around her.
Before the kickoff of the 2012 London Olympic Games, the International Olympic Committee presented Taiwan with a special award in appreciation of its generous donations of second-hand clothes to people in distress. In Taiwan, second-hand clothes are collected by various charity organizations. Taking Tzu Chi as an example, last year a total of 6 million kilos of second-hand clothes were collected. The clothes are later used to help the needy in various countries.
To make the winter warmer for the homeless, Tzu Chi volunteers walk along the streets, handing out second-hand clothes.
Can you stand up and try it on? Let's see if it looks good on you.
Other than providing second-hand clothes to the needy in Taiwan, this love is also carried out in other places around the world. In Argentina, Tzu Chi volunteers also hand out second-hand clothes to needy families, making their winter a warm one.
We are the Tzu Chi Foundation from Taiwan. The weather is getting cold, so we prepared blankets and second-hand clothes for all of you.
In Manila, Philippines, more than 100 households were left homeless after a fire destroyed their homes. Tzu Chi volunteers arrive on scene with second-hand clothes, so the survivors have clothes to change into. Since 1998, Tzu Chi volunteers have provided second-hand clothes to the needy in 6 different countries. During the same year, the Caribbean was devastated by typhoons. After the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers collected 60 containers worth of second-hand clothes for Haiti, Dominican Republic, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and the Republic of Nicaragua. The clothes not only helped the victims, but also extended the life of the clothing.
As the 7th lunar month draws near, Tzu Chi volunteers around Taiwan are preparing for Tzu Chi's annual blessing ceremonies. As part of these ceremonies, volunteers will hand out handmade charms to participants. Currently, volunteers in Taichung are working together to get 15,000 of these charms ready before the start of the lunar month.
Under skillful hands, a square piece of paper becomes a small pouch.
After we have the bag, we will tape it together, and then on the front of the bag, we will paste a picture representing the topic of this year's 7th Lunar Month celebrations.
The pictures and words that appear on each bag are the work of calligrapher Huang Yiqiao.
Seeing everyone burn just paper money, I feel it is only polluting our environment, so I wanted to draw something that was clean and pure.
Volunteers are doing their best to meet their goal of 15,000 pouches.
We are now preparing these auspicious tokens. We hope that as people come to partake in the Dharma, they will leave with these pouches as a memento.
78-year-old Yang Xianmo and his wife Chen Meili have been hard at work making these pouches for the past 3 days.
I have a cataract that will soon be operated on. Also, my eyes are going bad, but working here I forgot all that and I'm very happy.
Although I'm slow, I'm still happy because I'm doing something that will help form good affinity with others.
At both the second and the third Beitun training halls, Dharma joy is being cultivated. Middle school student Zhang is here with his mom to feel the joy of volunteering.
At home, I will just play the computer or watch TV. Today, I have a chance to come here and make connections with others.
Parents serve as role model for their children. How we act will unconsciously influence them.
For volunteers making these auspicious pouches, they are starting the coming up 7th lunar month off on the right foot.
Presently in Taiwan, patients can choose to see either Western or Chinese medical doctors. Since each have their strengths and weaknesses, for more serious conditions, people will often see both, which is a very time-consuming process. Now, however, there are several hospitals in Taiwan that offer what is called Chinese Western joint medical treatment. In one visit, patients are seen by both a traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine doctor, who both offer treatment plans according to their specialization. Here's more. Traditionally, those sick in Taiwan could choose either Chinese or Western medical treatment. However, now there's a third option.
你现在有什么样的不舒服吗？
就是连续好几天有一点腹泻的状况。
Seeing each patient are two doctors, one specializing in Western medicine, the other in Chinese medicine.
连诊的过程，我们中医先问完的话
After asking about the problem, we will look, listen, and feel for his symptoms. Afterwards, we will pass the patient over to the Western medical doctor, who will also ask questions and do checkups according to their field of specialization.
现在我不碰你，有没有肚子哪边会痛？这里呢？ 也不太会，好，会痛再跟我说哈。
Currently at the Chinese Western Joint Medical Clinic in Taipei City Hospital's Lingshan branch, patients can choose to have their problems seen from both sides of the medical spectrum.
The point is to offer patients a chance to benefit from the strength of both Western and Chinese medicine all in one visit. That way, they don't have to spend time going to different clinics or worry about getting bad advice.
受伤都过去了，
这样子啊，1加1多少？
等于2啊。
2啊，100减7嘞。
3减793啊。
93减7嘞。
93减7哦。嘿，就是86啊。
86减7耶。
79啊。
不错啊。哦。
Doing math in his head for the doctor is Chen Bozhou, who not long ago was close being in a vegetative state.
He would just lay there, not moving. Even when we put on his diaper, he would not move, and you would have to roll him over. He would also drool all the time.
2 years ago, the then PhD student Chen Bozhou was in a car accident that left him with serious head injuries. Although he survived, doctors doubted whether he could ever be able to return to a normal life. However, recovery was rapid after Chen transferred to Beigang Hospital's Chinese Western Joint Medical Clinic.
Western medicine uses medication, while Chinese medicine uses needles to work with brain injuries. So we combine these Western methods, rehab methods, and Chinese acupuncture methods to help many of those that seem like they had no hope of recovery.
Western surgery and rehab methods are added along with Chinese herbs and acupuncture treatment.
Through stimulating the meridians, it helps increase energy flow in the body and other channels to help improve blood circulation. I think it is really important part for those that are undergoing rehab.
Combining the respective strength of Chinese and Western medicine not only gives patients more choice and confidence in dealing with their symptoms, but is also helping people like Ten Bo make recoveries that are nothing short of miraculous. In this year's President Educational Award held by the Ministry of Education, 17 students in Taipei City were nominated. Some of the students are visually impaired or physically challenged. However, they did not give up on life, but instead faced challenges with courage and bravery. They will be awarded on July 29th by President Ma Ying-jeou.
The song and music are performed by Li Yipei, a student of the Taipei School for Visually Impaired and also a nominee of this year's President Educational Award. Although she cannot see, she hasn't given up on her passion for music. In the future, she wants to be a street performer.
When I was 4, I started learning piano with my piano tutor, which was very interesting. I don't have to push her to practice piano. She will practice herself when she is free, and she can even practice for 8 hours a day.
Another nominee, Li Cheng'en, was born prematurely at 28 weeks, which caused spinal problems and has prevented him from moving around freely. However, he hasn't locked himself at home, but instead, he finds interest in swimming and even took on the challenge to swim across the Salmon Lake.
Since I was 4, I have been sitting in a wheelchair.
What we see is an extraordinary person living with the most ordinary attitude. When I see Chen En at school, he always greets people with a big smile. I really admire people like him, whose life is not easy, but can still live with such a positive attitude.
Like Yipei and Cheng'en, the other nominees also suffer from birth defects, but still bravely face whatever challenges come their way.
The Tzu Kunshan Grounds in China held a filial piety children's summer camp from July 9th to 18th. During the workshop, students learned sign language songs, went out to spread conservation ideals, and served tea to parents and bathed their feet. Let's take a look.
The students from Tzu Filial Piety Children's Summer Camp in China travel in groups of 3 with their signs in their hand, spreading conservation ideals to residents of Jiangsu's Kunshan.
We can start by doing 5 good deeds a day. These good deeds include going meatless, saving water, and saving electricity.
These young conservationists are quite convincing. Some stores even hand over recyclable items in support, and some curious passers-by stop to listen. I've learned so much from you. I will definitely practice these values at home. Without thinking about the consequences, these campers approach a stand selling meat. When I saw the meat seller, I was scared, but I still went over. When I told him what I was there for, he waved me away with his butcher knife.
He thought we were selling electronic items or something and told us to go away.
After joining the summer camp, the students gained bravery and maturity. Students served their parents tea and bathed their parents' feet as an expression of their filial piety. Serving her mother tea, Chen Wenyan is unable to stop her tears because her mother was brave enough to apologize for neglecting Wenyan when she was younger. I have been giving my son more care than my daughter. I'm so sorry. Chen Wenyan doesn't hold a grudge against her mother.
Mom, I had already forgiven you when you apologized. Don't blame yourself because I know you love me. Thank you.
A mother's heartfelt apology and a daughter's forgiveness. This is filial piety.
As we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi Teachers Association this year, we meet one of the very first teacher, Zhang Sanhu, who helped establish the group. Zhang met Tzu Chi after retirement, and the wisdom she gained in the past 20 years also gave her the strength to go on after her second son became a stroke patient earlier this year.
Looking at the video, it is hard to imagine that many eat grass every day. Tasting the bitterness of the grass, the children frowned. As one of the earliest members of the Tzu Chi Teachers Association, for the past 20 years, Zhang Shanhu has been planting the seeds of love into the hearts of children.
Working in Tzu Chi's education missions, there's no fame or wealth, but I'm very happy. I can teach from kindergarten to university. I have widened my career path and learned a lot. I have many roles in my life, as a mother, a mother-in-law, grandmother, sister-in-law, and many more. I need to have a sense of responsibility for each role.
Despite of her old age, Zhang never misses an opportunity to share her experiences with others.
Then you have to incorporate this into your daily life. This is what I think.
Other than teaching in schools, Zhang Shanhu also uses her sense of humor and wisdom to guide the DaAi mothers every step of the way.
Before, I would follow her. Now I'm trying to walk the path on my own. Mother Sanhu told me that she will guide me every step of the way, but I have to walk the path myself.
As the Sutra of the Innumerable Meaning says, the seeds of goodness starts from one. Mother Sanhu's spirit is just like that. We can learn a lot from her.
Every seed of love we planted came back. It's like what we say, what goes around comes around. We need to cultivate more blessings for our descendants. And how to do it? We need to give.
Understanding that everything is the consequence of previous actions, Zhang faced the situation bravely and walked through the sadness. To help sort through her thoughts, Zhang uses a hot compress to ease the swelling on her son's arms and legs, gives him a massage and cuts his nails.
We all know that we need to achieve peacefulness in our minds. However, it is hard to overcome the sentiment of friendship and family. It is hard to let go.
Returning to the Tzu Chi Zhongli chapter for the first time after her son's sickness, Zhang feels at home. The love she receives from other volunteers gives her strength to carry on. She often tells herself life is not smooth, but she will try her best and be willing to bear any hardship along the way.
In Taiwan's Lokai indigenous tribe, men are normally not allowed to take on needlework. However, in today's feature report on the island sunset industries, we meet Peng Chunling, a vet who gave up his job to return to Pingdong to learn the art of embroidery. Today, the talented craftsman is not only incorporating traditional patterns onto other items, but is also passing on his knowledge and skills to his people.
First comes the needle, second we sew it in, and then it comes out from the other side.
Most people have the impression that only women are capable of needlework. Thus, many are surprised to meet Pingdong's Peng Chunling, who is a talented embroidery craftsman.
From when I was little, after I woke up, and opened my eyes to when I went to bed. All the women in my family were working on weaving and dyeing fabrics.
Pong's mother died young and he was raised by his grandmother and was always surrounded by beautiful flower and butterfly patterns. Yet the strict work division in the Lukai tribe prevented men from learning needlework. However, Pong Chunling was one of the first to break the tradition in order to preserve his culture.
In my memories, men don't work on needlework. So when I saw this teacher, I was really surprised and thought, how can a man become a teacher in weaving?
I remember, beginning from 1994, I participated in competitions every year, and in 1996, I won the national championship. I brought my father, big sister, and auntie, the three most important people in my life, to the award ceremony.
The path to learning embroidery hasn't been easy, but Pong Chunling takes on every challenge along the way with perseverance and patience.
If you don't pull the thread out, it will tangle up. The most difficult part is pulling the thread, and second most difficult is when we are weaving the curve. If our needles are slightly tilted, the whole artwork will look like it's leaning to one side.
Having been a vet and a street vendor, Pong Chunling eventually decided to return to his tribe to learn the art of weaving and threading. The man designed the yellow moth, which is a symbol of the Lukai tribe, into a more abstract pattern.
I'm slowly turning my first set of artwork with figurative patterns into abstract patterns. This is the moth's wing, and this is its tentacles, which symbolizes a direction. The thick and thin parts are their emotions.
Finding interest and passion in traditional embroidery, Pong Chunling also incorporated into household items, bags and clothes.
This year, I'm focusing on a theme, and that is going back to the original. I will make a record of everything through needlework. 1 or 2 years later, or even 3 years later, when we look back, we will realize all the things we have in our culture. When we are binding a thread around this, we must pull it as we go. If we don't, when we fold it, we will see the thread inside.
Through the special binding techniques of the Lukai tribe, the artisan is putting his creativity to the test.
That's not just it. We can actually be very creative. The twined cord can be used to cover many items and attached to many things. It can be very flexible with the width and the number of layers.
Today, Pong Chunling is actively passing on whatever knowledge and skills he has to his tribe. Though surrounded by women all day, he only hopes that his students will one day help pass on the culture and introduce the artwork of their tribe to others.
I don't dare say that I'm passing on the culture, but at least I'm able to maintain it in my generation. This part is ready. That area, we will just need to change the color.
Pong Chunling is leading his tribe to put together a mural 10 meters wide and 2.7 meters in height. The finished handmade needlework will then be displayed at Kaohsiung's International Airport so that those traveling may experience the beauty of Lukai's art. Recently, over 200 teachers from 8 countries returned to Taiwan to participate in the annual Global Education Conference. After the seminar concluded in Hualien, participants next visited the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital to gain a better understanding of the organization's medical mission. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.